This is Mike Zero Oscar Mike Tango M0MT, the Worldwide WRAG 2 Amateur Radio Network. Net will be starting on the hour. I hope to hear you all. I wonder if there's any early check-ins. Any early check-ins at this moment. Please come now, M0MT.
M0ONT. Sorry, Stuart, I had the other radio on monitoring. M0ONT M7CDW. I'll check in, but just listening there, Stewie.
Yeah, M7CDW, Cyril down in London. Yeah, no problem. M0OMT, Stu in Newcastle. Yeah, no problem, Cyril. Nice to have you on board. Thanks for an early check-in, and I hope you enjoy the net. I'll give it back to you for one more. Okay, I did say you just listening. Any other early check-ins, please? Any early check-ins for the Worldwide WRAG 2 Amateur Radio Network?
Good morning, Stuart. Whiskey 1 Alpha Delta, Whiskey 1 Alpha Delta. I should have said good day or afternoon over there. Northern Nevada, U.S.
Yeah, Whiskey 1 Alpha Delta, Frank in Nevada. Nice to hear you, Frank. You sound full of the joys of spring, so nice to hear you. Yeah, good afternoon from the UK. I hope you're enjoying your day. What are you up to? Anything exciting?
Really, we were on a trip to the East Coast of the U.S. For last week for a family wedding, and we didn't really have any big travel hitches to speak of, a little minor delay down in Phoenix. And we came back to some very warm record-setting temperatures up here in northern Nevada, which they have just extended through the whole week. So we'll see if how many records we set, but expecting 105, 106 Fahrenheit. That will be quite warm, but also the humidity is down near 8%, which has been a real big danger for fire season. So we'll just take one day at a time. Great to hear you, and hope you have a great net and a good week from W1AD.
Yeah, W1AD, M0MT. Yeah, no problem. Cheers, Frank. And yeah, there's been fires all over Greece. Where I just came back from, Cardamina. They had a fire up by the castle, and it spread right across the road to the airport. That goes up to the airport. There's only one road in, one road out. They were evacuating the hotels and everything. So everybody's safe. No one's hurt. And I'm just glad I wasn't there that week. That would have been pandemonium. All the best. W1AD, M0OMT.
Yes, well, unfortunately, it doesn't take much to set up a fire when it's dry or the humidity is low. And from the last 2 years, the amount of green growth that occurred because of the amount of moisture, there's a lot of stuff out there. Now with it being hot, it's all drying out. And what did they find the other day? Somebody got arrested for starting a fire. And I think it was simply that he had a little barbecue going and the spark went up from the barbecue and started something. Or people go out and shoot their bullets into where it seems to be sparsely populated, but then those things hit something and create a spark, and it's amazing how fast things can go. All right, we'll let you get the net started. It's almost 8 o'clock here, Pacific time, 7-3. This is W1AD.
Yeah, and 0MT, yeah, we did have the official time clock come out at my end, so I will start the ball rolling. This is the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Network. We're here every week, every Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 16 UTC here in the UK at the moment. And as Frank said, 8 o'clock Pacific Time. So welcome one and all. Hopefully we have a good net and get some new check-ins as well as people that check in every week. That'd be lovely, lovely. I do have a question. The question of today, hang on, let me take a bit. Mike Zero Oscar Mike Tango picking it up again. The question for today is, there is two ends of the spectrum. We've got HF all the way through to UHF. So do you go big? Big is better, or do you go low key? Which one are you? Do you prefer this internet linking where you just need a small antenna or a micro node, or do you prefer both? Do you go massive? Have you got a tower and everything? Things like that. So which end of the spectrum are you? Do you like to keep it low key, or you don't mind what the neighbours see? This is the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Network. I'm looking for check-ins. QRZ, please.
2E0 EVP, Sheffield, over.
KC1 SNO.
This is KC1 FJY.
Yeah, okay, guys, I got three there. I got 3 years there. I'll just run down them in order. There was 2E0 EVP in Sheffield, in the United Kingdom. I've got KC1 SNO, Mike, and I think you're in Shrewsbury. You can confirm that. And I've got a KC1 Fox Juliet Yankee. I think so. I don't think I've worked yet. That's what I pulled out, KC1 FJY. If that is correct, could you let me know, and then I'll go back to the top of the list.
You are correct. Kilo Foxtrot Juliet.
Kilo Foxtrot Juliet, yeah? Wonderful. Right, I'll not be long. 2E0 EVP, Martin in Sheffield, how are you? Happy Sunday to you. England won the game yesterday, of course, so everybody's in good spirits. 2E0 EVP, I'll give the mic to you. Did you get the question?
Hi, Roger. Yeah, good afternoon, Stuart, and good afternoon, good morning to everybody, or good evening to everybody, no matter wherever you may be around the world. Yeah, I got the question there, Stuart. So, as you know, we've been talking long enough. On the airwaves on amateur radio for many years. I don't do much HF anymore, so mainly for me it's digital modes with doing gateways and other stuff, and experimenting with that sort of stuff for myself. Yeah. So I used to be very active on HF radio at one time, but because of antennas got broken with the wind and other stuff like that, I've not gone back to doing the HF. I keep on saying I'm going to go back and do HF again. So it's just pulling my finger out and setting up some antenna for the HF side. Probably be a G5 or something, a wire antenna for the garden. But I like with radio. I like building gateways, experimenting with that sort of thing. With Zello, Discord, and all the other stuff that's out there that I can play around with there, Stuart, over from 2E0 EVP.
2E0 EVP M01T. Yeah, I dabble with them as well. As you know, I've got me gateways and bridges as well. But radio-wise, obviously on the car, on the truck, I've got to keep it low key, so it's UHF, EHF in the truck. And I don't when I go down the EHF route, I don't have a tower, and I don't have a beam, and I don't have a rotator. I mean, it's just more things that can go wrong. I just have a simple 30-foot mast, and I've got a long wire that goes from the ground to the top of the roof and then down the garden. So it's an inverted L, basically. I don't go for beams. I'd love to try a beam. I wouldn't mind going around another amateur's house that's got a beam. And I do hear them on HF. Lee, guy that lives near me, he gets out brilliantly on a beam. Really, really well from where he is. Give it back to you, Martin, M01T.
Roger, yeah, 2E0 EVP, yeah, returning, yeah. I'd love a beam myself, Stuart. I've seen a few of them about down here around Barnsley and Sheffield, but they got bigger gardens than me. My garden's only small; it's only like 100 foot by 100 foot, something like that. So it's not very good. I do have a wind-up mast that's connected to the radio shack, but I had cobwebs in the past that I had up on this 30-foot mast I got in the garden and wind up. It's a wind up tilt mast, but it's not had anything on for the past few years. But I keep on saying I'm going to get back into it and do HF. That's the reason why I got into amateur radio, is because I was quite active on 11 meters before 2010, and that was the reason why I went and took my amateur radio license. I wanted to do things a little bit more and go on more frequencies and stuff like that. Anyway, thanks for letting me check in there, Stuart. Have a good evening. Nice to hear you. It's been very quiet all week on the gateways. I've been trying to keep it busy, but it's been very quiet. Have you had your repeater switched off? It's all over. 2E0 EVP, back over to you, Stuart. Over.
Yeah, M01T. Yeah, the repeater has been disconnected, but not for any particular reason. I didn't realise it had been. It had dropped out. It's nearly a full-time job just keeping them connected together. But yeah, like you say, I would love a beam, but I just couldn't go that dramatic here. But hopefully I'll get something back up. Yeah, that's what inspired probably everybody that's listening on the net, making that first contact over propagation. We've taken internet linking for granted we can do it. And there's no dropout or anything unless you go over the 3 minutes. It works all right. But HF, when you can hear someone at the back of the box and still working, that's where the buzz is. Always has been, hasn't it? Right, all the best to you, Martin. I'll move down to Mike. Sure, it's Mike. KC1SNO, M01T. Happy Sunday to you, Mike. Go ahead.
This is KC1SO. The name here is Paul, Papa Elsa Uniform Lima, and I'm actually in Brandon, Vermont. And as to your question, I only have a technician license, so the only HF I'm doing is some on 10 meters, but I haven't seen too much activity there lately. I have a small antenna, so maybe that's my problem. I do some VHF and also some digital wires X and DMR, but at the moment that's about the extent of work I do here. KC1SNO, back to net.
Yeah, KC1 SNO. Paul, sorry. I don't know why I thought you were Mike from Shrewsbury. No, that's bad. That's me bad. I really apologise. But yeah, when you said you did 10 meters, well, it must be some size antenna. I mean, the widths on 10 meters are a fair size there, Paul. Go ahead.
KC1 SNO. Actually, what I'm using is a couple of ham sticks, one driven, the other grounded, and so they're only about, they're loaded, so they're only about 3 feet either direction. And when I originally put it up, I was, getting quite a bit of action on 10 meters, but recently this summer, I haven't been getting all that much, and I don't know whether it's because of the sunspot activity or what, but it is kind of a small antenna, like I say, with ham sticks, but it works pretty well. So anyway, that's how it's set up. It's KC1 SNO, back to net.
Yeah, KC1 SNO M0OMT for the Worldwide RAG 2 Amateur Radio Net. Yeah, no problem, Paul. Yeah, like I say, it doesn't have to be massive. I mean, some people go absolutely crazy, huge big flip over towers and just absolutely daft. I mean, it'd be nice, but I don't think I'd be living here very long if I went that daft. I've got a couple of ham sticks as well. They're perfect, absolutely perfect. I've got single banders as well that just screw into a mag mount, tri-mount on the roof of the car. I don't live too far from the sea, so it's ideal. So like you say, it doesn't have to be big. So I guess that you're at the lower end of the scale. You like to keep it low key like me. Keep everybody happy. Happy wife, happy life.
KC1 SNO. Yep. Well, thanks for the good words. And I do have a happy life, but wife has passed on, unfortunately. So now I'm all alone, and I'm my own boss, unfortunately. And but anyway, 73s to everyone out there, and thanks a lot for letting me check in. KC1 SNO, back to net, and I'm clear.
Yeah, M0OMT. Okay, Paul. Sorry, you good ladies don't whistle anymore. But one good thing, she can't tell you when to turn the power supply off. So you're your own man again. So all the best to you. I'll catch up with you next time around. Thanks for checking in, Paul. Have a great Sunday. KC1, Kilo Fox Juliet, M0OMT. Are you still by the frequency?
Hey, Ned. Yeah, I have a correction to make. I have a little dyslexia. It's KC1FJY. These last 3 are Foxtrot Juliet Yankee. This is Josh from Rutland. Nice to hear from you.
I had it right the first time, Josh, and then you corrected it. You threw another kilo in there. So it's KC1FJY, yeah? Josh, your voice rings a bell. Did we work each other? Oh, it's been a while ago now.
Yeah, I've been around for a while. I kind of come in and out. Just usually happen to check in the net when I'm driving, which I'm doing right now. I'm going to head out and do some fishing. I mainly do VHF mobile. I do have a VHF set up at home. I have a nice high frequency set up, but I unfortunately cut my feed line almost a year ago now. By the time I got to reconnecting it, it corroded, and so I probably have to run a new fresh feed line. It's 400 feet of feed line, so unfortunately it's expensive to buy.
Yeah, M0OMT. Yeah, it is. If you want the good stuff, if you want decent stuff, rather than, well, we'll not slag any brand of coax off, but if you want to go stuff, it does cost money, yeah. So you did say the feed line's broken, but what do you have up in the air? What do you have up in the air antenna-wise for HF?
I have a G5 RV hung up in several trees. I used a drone to fly up a fishing line and then pulled up some rope, so it's maybe 50, 60 feet in the air. It works really nicely, especially I would get, kind of out towards Midwest to the West U.S., and I could get out to Europe pretty well as well. I like doing it. Just, again, cost and time to run a new feed line. It has to be buried across my driveway, too, so it's an ordeal to get a fresh one. This is KC1FJY. I don't know if that was used to, but I heard I just heard a lot of static for a minute with something singing in the background. I couldn't hear any voice.
Brilliant antenna. Brilliant. Just, it's worked for years, hasn't it? So why change it? People all over the world are using it. Yeah, the guys in Europe. They're not quiet for long. We'll talk all day. Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, Stu, I'm not sure what happened there. You may have gotten cut off a bit. I heard a bunch of static. It sounded like maybe an open mic for a minute, but I caught the end of what you said. Yeah, the G5 RV is fun. It's a good antenna. It was relatively easy to set up. I didn't really want to set up a tower, so it was an easy way to get to height. Yeah, back over to you.
AM0MT. I don't see the point. I mean, it's nice to have all these big towers and beams and everything, but when you can work the world on a long wire, 20 feet off the ground, do you really need to go any more than that? Without wiping out the spectrum? Right, okay, Josh, yeah, somebody did play the mic. I could hear the telly in the background. Never mind, we're professionals, we'll move along. You drive safely, all the best. 73 and 0OM2.
This is KC1FJY. Thanks for having me. I'm heading away from the repeater, so I'm probably going to lose you guys, so I'll be clear. 73.
Yeah, 73's Josh, drive safely. Right, well, I am at the bottom of my list. I wonder if anybody else would like to check in. I'll just introduce myself again. This is Mike Zero, Oscar Mike Tango. Name is Stu, Sierra Tango uniform. I'm in the northeast of England, and I'm your net controller for the Worldwide Drag 2 Amateur Radio Net this Sunday. Anybody like to check in? I'll let you check in now, please. QOZ, QOZ.
KJ4ZOY.
VA3KKY.
E3VPK.
Yeah, very good, Mike. 0 there. TGIF 3. I heard KK4ZOY, Stephen. VA3 KKY, Kevin. KB3 VPK, Mary. Anybody else I missed? No, right. Well, it's coming straight around to you, Stephen. Happy Sunday. Trust you well. Haven't heard you through the week, but I've been busy. I haven't played much radio myself. How the devil are you? KJ4ZOY, M0OMT.
Well, I'm just fine, Stuart. KJ4ZOY, M0OMT. The devil didn't make me do it. I think I've done it on my own. But it's been a pretty good week here. It looks like Hurricane Beryl, which is in the other hemisphere from where you are, may miss the general Austin area, which would be good because I didn't feel like drowning. But we'll see, you know, stuff happens and we're just outside the cone of doom. That aside, the people on the coast may get wet. Fortunately, I don't think it's going to be worse than a Category 1. So what didn't happen will be our big excitement here. And it's just been a regular week. We, you know, put one foot in front of the other and lived our lives and went to the grocery store and read books and watched television and thought about generally improving the universe. And I'm slowly but surely learning how to work my new wire antenna, but it's learning how to work the radio all over again. So that's my big news for today. And so back to you, M0OMT. This is KJ4ZOY.
Yeah, M0OMT. Yeah, no problem, Steve. Well, I haven't played much radio either. I've just done 2 weeks of training. 2 weeks? Where did that disappear to? Absolutely flew over. I still feel like I've only done one, but never mind. I am enjoying it. So, and I get signed off next week. So I'm working this week and then I get signed off and I can do it all on my own. Get my feet under the table and put a radio back in. So that's the plan. But you said you're playing around with a new antenna. I don't know if you caught the question. We've got HF to UHF. Do you like to go big or do you like to stay low KC? What did you put up in the end?
KJ4ZOY, M0OMT. I put up a wire antenna that's a 41-foot antenna wire, which is preceded by a 9-to-1 balun. Before that is about 16 feet of coax that is helping be a ground leg, and there is a giant choke on it at that point in time. And then, I don't know, 25, 30 feet more of coax through a lightning arrestor back into the house. It's the longest part of the wire I could get in the little piece of property we're on, and seemed to be pretty good for 10 to 40 meters, single sideband or AM. The radio does pick up some FM, but I haven't learned much about that yet. I am picking up a whole lot more noise and much further away signals. Whether or not I can get to your house, I'm not sure yet. And I think it's working okay. It's a good step past what I used to have, and we'll see how it goes. I had to take the books back out and figure out how to reduce noise again with the both the super heterodyne and the software-defined pieces of this radio. And I hope that answers your question. The days are still pretty long, and so sunlight isn't great for some of these signals. So as we get towards winter, I expect to do even better. And so that's my answer. KJ4ZOY, back to net control. Over.
Yeah, I'm 0MT. I'm sure I wouldn't go fiddling with it. The band do go up and down. Just stick with what you've done, where you've put it. Don't move it. If it says WWARG and it's only the conditions. So the strangest contact I had was on EM. The guy, I was working the guy on upper sideband, and he says, "Oh, why don't we just try EM?" And then the guy was in Italy, and I managed to work Italy on EM. So that was a first for me. But you said it's for 10 down to 40. There's nothing above 40 really. 80 meters full of old men. You wouldn't fit in, Stephen. And then top band or even worse. So you're not missing out on anything. 10 to 40 is just fine.
Well, you know, if 10 to 40 is the band for old men, I guess I'm in there. I qualify. I just snuck under that wire, you know, maybe about 10 years ago. So it seems to work. We'll find out. I wish I had anything more interesting to say, but I'm sorting out some music for the choir I'm in, and hope I don't screw it up, and I'm out of stuff to say. It's good to hear your voice, Stuart. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm 0MT. Well, for listening on the net, I'm sure we wish you good luck with the choir. If you're organizer, I'm sure it'll be perfect. You're a man of perfection. All the best, Steve. Nice to have you tagging on my net. Thanks very much. We'll move down the list before we put them to sleep. 3 KKY, M0MT. Hiya, Kevin.
Hey, Stu, and everybody else on that. Yeah, I'm not too bad, Stu. I come on here still kind of looking around sometimes, calling. So, yeah, you gotta let me know where the secret place you're hiding. I'll go and chase you down. Anyways, so that's for one aspect of radio work. And then another aspect is, yeah, the band openings are kind of strange at points. Uh, I like sometimes the shorter openings. They're a lot of fun. Like, let's say, like on 10 or 20 meters from, like, let's say, Toronto to New York City, right? Like, people wouldn't be excited about that, but just from the way it works, the way it almost never works, is exciting to me. You know, Toronto to Maine, things like that, Toronto to even other parts of Ontario, where everyone else, most of the time when they get on all these nets, they're ghosts. I don't even know they exist. And then some way, some miracle, somehow, weather-wise, it hooks up, we hook up. So I really like those. I've told y'all about that a lot of times. They're amazing to me. 80 meters is more like a rack 2 band, do anything you want band. You can kind of misbehave too. It's just according to what everybody else is into. They're not so much worried about doing it by the book. There's been people, classic characters who's had shows, when they key up, they're not so much interested in you talking back to them. They just like to talk. And so there's been people past like NA0T. There was that other guy. What did he always say? No lids, kids, or space cadets, whatever. He passed away. So there's been classic characters. 80 meters brings them out. 80 meters is kind of like that in North America. Don't quite know how it comes across to you guys there. Let me unkey a second. I notice whenever I talk to Europeans and talk to people, you know, what we would call across the pond, across the waters, anything, that they're more serious. You know, they like their DXing and they use the bands. They're more into using every minute that's available to them, reading the propagations and paying attention. So they don't have that thing where in North America we just screw around. We get on and swear, and things like that. Because I've been known to say some classic things to locals. I don't bother DX with it. You know, you have your local channels and your local hangouts, and it's, you know, the atmosphere is different. I've noticed when I talk to people in Europe, like a lot of your DX clubs and, you know, the DX clusters, they come from those places. They're people that are dedicated, and that's no disrespect. That's some real stuff. All righty. Okay, I'll turn it back to you. And yep, you got to let me know where you're concealing yourselves. That come a looking again. VA3KKY.
Yeah, the worldwide right to amateur radio net. Yeah, okay, Kevin. Well, like I say, I've started a new job. I've done 2 weeks of training. I've got 1 more week of training, and then I'm gonna slide a radio in. So I'll be exposing myself in a week's time. Put it that way. I'll be back on the radio a little bit more when I haven't got someone looking over my shoulder. So there you go. It wouldn't be professional to do it at the minute, and certainly wouldn't be professional if I didn't do it when I'm on my own to keep me company and play my hobby. So yeah, 40 meters is a bit like that. Yeah, I do find it a little bit more relaxed. We can work into G all over the UK, so you get to meet the other HFers in the UK on the short skip, which is quite nice. Get to meet your neighbours who aren't your neighbours, kind of thing. But yeah, I heard Steve calling with it yesterday or this morning, but I was busy with the garden. I didn't get back to him, but someone came back to his call, so Steve's about. I think I heard him say he chopped his finger off or something silly. He'd hurt his arm or something. But all the best to you, Kevin. VU3KKY M01T. I'll give you back one more time.
All right, Stu. Hey, yeah, very good. Well, we'll listen. We'll figure it out. We'll call on. I call a little bit at times through the day on the place. You know where I go, right, where Jerry is, and then I call here, right? You know, because theirs is a private hub, so I guess they like to keep it that way. But yeah, so I'm still there, still alive. It's just you guys got to answer. It's how that goes. Radio sucks if nobody answers, right? You know the deal is why we're here, right? Okay. Well, yep, I see you got others there. I won't hold you. Take care. Yeah, I won't hold it, as you say. And I'll pass it back to you. I'll leave it to you. And this is VA3KKY. We'll be listening. Back to Stu. Back to the net.
Yeah, lovely to hear you, Kevin. Thanks very much. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Coming down to Mary, last but not least, hopefully. KB3VBK M012, you still with us?
Yes, Stu, I sure am. Still here. And it's kind of like getting through my long 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shifts at the job, making silicone wafers Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, and every other Wednesday. So I finally got in enough hours. I'm permanently hired now. So I have elected my benefits and all kinds of goodies. So not sure how much pay will actually be left then. So, get the life insurance plans paid by the company, and I got some extra for sale. So I don't know how much money is going to be left in my check, and the 401k contribution and all that, and the local taxes. So I'm just kind of sitting here relaxing, saving money, just sitting here listening to the radio. Something free I can do. Back to you, Stu. I don't know what the question was. Heard people talking about HF antennas. I have a long wire, end fed. I have a couple of those in the trees and a dipole for 20 meters. I made one contact on field day. Turned out to be a neighbor. So I did listen around the dials for a while. It was pretty interesting. Back to you, Stu.
Yeah, and oh, well, we're both starting new jobs. Congratulations on being taken on, by the way. Was it you that was telling us you had to volunteer? You had to do volunteer work there first, or like a trial run before they decided, or were you getting paid before while you were training, Mary? And you kind of answered the question. You told you had a couple of long wires up in some trees. And the question today was the two ends of the spectrum, the HF and the UHF, VHF. I know you've got a repeater. You can tell me if that's on UHF with VHF. But HF, do you go big, or do you prefer to have a low key kind of station? You can hide a wire in a tree, isn't it? If you want to upset people around you, maybe you live out in the country, wouldn't bother anybody. Most were on, most were in, some were on HOAs, but we live on an estate, which is a group of houses, buildings. You don't really want to upset anybody, do you, really? So I stay low key. I've just got a long wire over the minute.
Well, I live on my own house property. It's not in the HOA neighborhood or anything like that. I have the tower for the VHF for my repeater. So I got a GP9 up there, Comet, on the tower on the back of the house. I also have a CB, Sigma 5/8 wave antenna on the roof. That's been up there since day one, since I bought the house, just about. I had the CB antenna installed before I even got a phone line when I moved in. A friend came over and helped me put it up. So, yeah, I got visible antennas on my property. So nobody's complaining. HF, I just have like wires, so no really good like beam that I can control. But I do have a rotator, but I'm using the tower for the repeater, so I'm not rotating anything at the moment. So that's what I have over here. So just occasionally I turn on the HF gear, make a few contacts, but I'm not on that one as much as I am here on the Allstar network. So I can make more contacts on Allstar and hear two-way conversations. Sometimes on HF I hear one person. I can't hear the other person. So mostly I hang out on VHF here on my repeater and Allstar network. Back to you, Sue, KB3 VPK.
Yeah, 0-1T, yeah, it's the same at 9. I mean, we could always lip sync, couldn't we, and pretend what the other person's saying at the other end. But it's probably about the weather. All right, Mary, have a lovely Sunday. We'll see if anybody else is out there. But, enjoy your time off, and congratulations on getting the job full time. I'm still in my probationary period. I think it's 3 months I need to do. But that'll fly over, absolutely fly over. I'm driving tankers now, so I deliver acids and everything, the different water treatment works. It's something new. I'm learning again. Never too old to learn. All the best, Mary. Cheers.
Okay, Stu. Yeah, I was a temp. I was getting paid, and I had to do 3 months. So I made it through that, and they hired me. So now I'm going to be a permanent employee. Like you also made.
Amateur Radio Network. We're here every Sunday. We do have a Facebook page at Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Network. It's worldwide, two words if you look for it on Facebook, not one. So I'm at the bottom of my list. I'm looking for any more check-ins anywhere in the world, basically. QRZ, with your call sign slowly and phonetically, please.
Net control, please.
Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Echo X-Ray KC4 ZEX. Charles in Kentucky.
Net control, please copy Kilo Bravo 3 Golf Papa X-Ray. Kilo Bravo 3 Golf Papa X-Ray. Mike, York, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, very good. Net control, yes, 2 stations there. I've got Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Echo X-Ray and KB3 Golf Papa X-Ray. We're going to come up to you there, Charles, in Kentucky. Nice to hear your voice again. I know you've checked in a few times. Nice to hear you, Charles. How's this Sunday going?
Pretty nice day here. Sun's shining. It's about 78 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Going to get a little humid here in a little while. Probably going to be quite warm this afternoon. Last few days hasn't been too bad. We had a few days of stormy weather, but we got through that. This has kind of slowed the grass down a little bit, being so warm. But not a bad day at all, really. The question you asked about the antennas and what I'm trying to get up. Right now, I've got 2 meters and 440 low profile antennas. I'm working on trying to get up a vertical for 10, 12, and 17 meters. And I'd like to get an end fed up for maybe 40 and 80 meters. That's going to take a little while.
Yeah, very good, Charles. Very good. KC4ZEX M0MT. Could you not combine that antenna? I'm sure there is an antenna out there that'll do 40 through till 10. Maybe you may be able to tune it on 80. It will be adjustable. It's got a 49 to 1 balance on the bottom, and it's about the same size as a 10-meter antenna. So the antenna is about 16 foot, but it's got a 49 to 1 balance on the bottom rather than the 9 to 1 to give you more bands.
I have thought about that. I'm going to do a little checking into that too. But right now, I've got I don't have a lot of space out here, but I could run a wire probably 60, 70 foot long, and that's about the longest I could run a long wire. But I was thinking about maybe an end fed and use a tuner on it. But we'll see. But like I said, right now I'm looking at building a little small. I've got an old Antron. It was good, supposedly 10 and 11 meters, but they say it'll do 10, 12, and 17 without much of a tuning to it. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now.
Yeah, I'm 0MT. Jules, are you big into your digital, your FTA and that? About 12 meters and 17 meters were mostly digital.
I've got a receiver that I can listen now. Of course, like I said, without a real good antenna, it's hard to tell much about it. But I'm hearing quite a bit of sideband voice on 17 meters especially, and 12 meters from time to time. When it's open, it's kind of like 10, it's in and out quite a bit. But I've heard some pretty good signals on there, voice-wise.
Yeah, I'm 0MT. I must just be listening in the wrong section of the band. But yeah, if it works, it works. So good luck with that, Charles. Good luck with that. Like I say, I've just got a long wire up. Mine will only do 40 to 10. That's got a 9-1 ballon at the bottom of it. I like to just stay low profile. I don't go towers and beams. I like to. They look marvellous when you see someone else's station. They look great. But a little bit unfeasible for my back garden. I'd have a lot of cement in the back garden to keep the thing on the ground. Charles, go ahead.
I know what you mean. Well, I'm out in the country, so I'm not, I don't have an HOA problem or not much of anybody going to complain about it, but it's just a matter of, how much space you've actually got to work with. And I don't want to get into somebody else's stuff. That's a lot of cases, especially if you run a lot of power and you got real close neighbors, sometimes that creates a problem in itself. But I've been around for a little over 30 years, and I've never used a linear on any band yet.
Yeah, M0MT. You don't need it. You don't need it. I've got a name 17 there. I think I've got a booster for it, but it very rarely gets turned on. There's no point shouting QRP if you're not working QRP. Okay, Charles, thanks for checking into the net and answering all my questions today. Hopefully hear you next week. I'm looking to be around. My life's just turned upside down with this new job. So I'll try and keep my finger in. We'll move down the list. We've got KB3 Golf Papa X-Ray, Mike in York, Pennsylvania. Afternoon to you, Mike, from the UK.
Hello, Stuart, and everybody on the net. Kilo Bravo 3 Golf Papa X-Ray, York, Pennsylvania. Coming in on the Discord link channel or connection here. And 29 degrees centigrade. We're still in our typical summer weather pattern over here in the northeast portion of the North American continent. And not much of a fan of hot weather, but there we go. It changes, I think, as we gracefully advance in age. Anyway, good to hear everyone today. Just finished up attending a ham fest, which I haven't been to in quite a while. Close by here yesterday morning, and it was already getting quite toasty temperature-wise, so I didn't stay too long. Did manage to pick up a Dell Optiplex 3040 mini computer here, a Intel Core i5 with a nice little half-height video card in there. So I might use that as an esports machine here for some diversion from amateur radio activities here. Regarding antennas, I do have a Chameleon Tactical Delta Loop here, my primary antenna for the Yaesu FT710 and FT891. And we do get into some software-defined radio using a MA30 Plus magnetic loop. Back to net, KB3 GPX.
Yeah, M0MT. I've got a couple of SDR radios myself. I love them. Not as expensive as buying a transceiver, but they're great little tools just to throw on an aerial and listen. Is it the Malachite or I don't want to say the Malachite, something like that. I've got a couple of them, two different versions. They're just good fun, just little toys that I like to throw on the end of an aerial. They're really good. You said you're on Discord, Mike, and I haven't heard you in ages, so lovely to hear your voice this Sunday. You said you're on Discord. Is that something that you've created yourself, or are you coming through 2E0 AVP's link?
Yeah, coming in through Martin's link here, 2E0 EVP. Normally, you probably heard me, usually Stuart, on Allstar. I have a ClearNode Pi 4 here and various analog radios here, HTs, that'll get that job done, but I don't have it particularly hooked up right now. But normally I come in on Allstar. I do love the audio quality of the of that part of the tech, and yeah, we'll have to try to get in there a little bit more, get some more Allstar activity. Back to you.
Yeah, M0OMT. I could tell you were on something different, and I'm not knocking anything. I'm just comparing. This one's a little bit tinnier in audio. It's still very, very good. It is dropping out, so it must be on VOM. Now and again, just when you take a pause, it drops out or gives me a beep anyway. But you always sound good on your clear node. Always sound good on your clear node, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, all good, Stuart. Yeah, well, I don't think there's any Vox functionality on Discord by itself. It's kind of a full duplex type of technology, so maybe that's Martin's side with the pause there. In any case, everyone's sounding great here, at least on Discord, through the link, and certainly want to have everyone a good 7-3 and good rest of the weekend for those who are still in the weekend, and have a good upcoming week. Stay safe, and stay cool. There we go. Definitely want to try to stay cool and certainly hydrated over here with this summer heat. KB3 GPX.
Yeah, M0OMT. Yeah, you keep the heat, Mike. You just keep the heat. We have had a couple of warm days in the UK. But the colder the better for me. I've got to wear a full PVC suit when I'm dealing with the chemicals. So it gets a little bit warm in there. Do you have any information for that Discord channel? I know Martin's already checked in, but anybody that's listening that might like that audio, could you give them a pointer of where to go and get it?
I would say I think Martin does share some links on Discord. I think probably the easiest thing would be to search for Martin on his Facebook page. I think there are ways to get into it that way.
Yeah, very good, Mike. Just people like to try new things, and if it's not for them, it's not for them. But I tried Peanut and I loved it. I still use it. Zello, I still use it. There's all kinds out there. TeamSpeak as well, the IRN, big shout out to you. We've got a link over there, so that's fantastic as well. So if anybody wants to try Discord, get in touch with Martin, 2E0 EVP. He'll get you sorted out, I'm sure. Anyway, Mike, anything else before I go put the few last calls out?
Nothing else specific here, Stuart. I don't know if I may have mentioned it on previous nets. I'm quite active on DMR, which is a digital voice mode, typically on 70 centimeters UHF. Do a number of nets over here during the week, 6 at any given time of the week through rotation or standard basis. All of those are typically on the what they call the Brandmeister network, which is one of several server-based DMR connections there that are out there. So other than that, doing those and enjoying summer. I know it's been cold over there in most parts of the UK. I'm hoping it'll get a little bit more seasonable for you folks over there. It's been quite cool over there in the past couple of weeks, at least what Martin has been telling me. So hopefully you'll get some summer conditions there. Back to you.
Anybody here, Mark, here? Hello?
Yeah, I'm 0MT. Put me money, take me money out of the piggy bank again, just to get a suntan somewhere. Was there a break station? All the best to you, Mike. The last station that called in, QRZ.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Mike, 6 Kilo Victor Romeo. We're just getting things set up with a little bit of help from Martin, 2E0 EVP. So I was just wondering what it's sounding like, over.
Yeah, Mike 6 Victor Kilo Radio, I believe it was, M0OMT. Stuart in Newcastle. Yeah, it sounds very good. No trouble hearing you. Nice, good, clean audio.
Yeah, okay, everybody. It's okay. I'm new to this actually. Not new to the amateur bands. I held my ticket, passed the exam around about 15, 16 years ago now. So it's but this particular thing, I'm running it on my mobile phone at the moment on one of the Z Fold mobile phone, and the call sign Mike 6 Kilo Victor Romeo, and the name's Dean, Delta Echo Alpha November. Microphone back to you, over.
Yeah, very good, Dean. Mike 6 Kilo Victor Radio. Yeah, got it now. This is Mike 0 Oscar Mike Tango. Where are you located, Dean, please? What's your QDH?
Yeah, the location is Rotherham. Same town as Martin. 2E0 EVP. Rotherham, between Sheffield and Doncaster. There. Microphone back to you, over.
Yeah, Mike 6 KVR. Dennis went out there for the 5 o'clock. Yeah, down in Rotherham, yeah, I know it well. I'm up in Newcastle upon Tyne. I am a lorry driver. I come past yours and Martin's all the time, down the M1 or down the A1 and down the M18. I'm going over towards Scunthorpe tomorrow, so I wonder if you use that GB3PZ on HookNet and things like that. That one's quite a good one. But did you get the question of the day? Question of the day is HF. Do you like to go big? What you got up in the air for HF, or do you like to just keep your station low key with small verticals, UHF, VHF?
Sorry about that. Yeah, me PT button. I don't know whether I haven't set it up properly yet, but I've got to sort of keep tapping my screen for my PTT button to appear. Yeah, I do go HF if that's the question. I think to get the operator name. Yeah, we do have a couple of HF sets, but it's mainly the handhelds. I've got 3 handhelds as well. We got the Kenwood TS870, the Kenwood TS2000, the Quansheng handheld, the Retivus RT3 handheld, and the Baofeng UV5. One of the Baofeng antennas handhelds as well. And the antennas, one's just a simple GP27, and the other is a believe it or not, I just forget what the other one is. It's a multi-band antenna, HF antenna. Microphone back to you, over.
Yeah, I've just got a long wire out for 40 through to 10 as well. It does the bands that I want to do. Not that I get on there that much. I just got to look at the radio and the wife's on me back. But I'm very rarely home, so I can kind of empathise with her. She wants to spend as much time as she wants with us. Who wouldn't? But thanks very much, Dean. This is the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. We're here every week, every Sunday at 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, when the clocks change. It's always 11 o'clock Eastern Time. All the best, you Dean. Thanks for checking in. Nice to work you. I'll see if there's anybody else out there. And now 5 o'clock's gone. QRZ, any more check-ins? Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Network, QRZ.
Whiskey Delta 1, Alpha Juliet Mike, Adam in Rutland City, Vermont. Sorry for the late check-in.
Yeah, I only got a partial. Whiskey Delta 1, question mark, sorry. And I think you said it was Adam.
This is Whiskey Delta 1, Alpha Juliet Mike, Adam in Rutland City, Vermont, coming in on Echolink.
Yeah, Whiskey Delta 1, Alpha Juliet Mike, Adam. Nice to hear you over there in Rutland, Vermont. Haven't heard Scott today. He must be out camping or something like that. But, I hope you're having a pleasant day. Did you catch the question, Adam? Have you been listening for long, or you just joined with?
I just joined in. I did not hear the question.
Yeah, well, because we've got such a big radio spectrum, you've got 2 ends. You've got HF, which is normally always huge antennas, and then VHF, UHF, which kind of have them low key. Which one are you? Or are you both? Do you go big on HF and as small as you can on UHF?
I am both, I believe, would be the best description. Back to you from WD1, AJ. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, okay, Adam. Well, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I'll see if there's anybody else out there. I do see some stations have disconnected after the hour, but we'll see if anybody else wants to sneak in the back door. Any other check-ins? Last call for the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Network. QRZ. No one haven't heard any rechecks, any comments? Mike 0 Oscar Mike Tango. Looking for last call, M0 MT. Nope, not alert. Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining me this Sunday, the 7th of July. Thanks for checking in. Have a great weekend, what's left of it. And we'll catch you the next time around. All the best from me. 7-3. I'll return all repeaters, gateways, hotspots back to normal use. Thanks very much, guys.